Okay, we're all set. So good afternoon, everyone. Well, first of all, I just want to say that I'm really thrilled to be here today with, of course, Mayor Chow, to welcome all of you to this announcement that will make a significant difference for the residents of Etobicoke North. I want to thank everyone that's made this day possible. I want to thank Premier Doug Ford, Minister Sarkaria, Minister Surma, and the whole team at the Woodbine Entertainment Group. Thank you for recognizing the need for this type of investment in Ward 1. This is a proud and memorable moment for myself and for my constituents. This announcement is about more than just a GO station. We're finally delivering on what Etobicoke North needs to activate higher order transit. The next step will be to extend the Fitch West LRT to this new GO station so that seniors, families, and hardworking people can all benefit from the development of this missing link. Excuse me. For me, this legacy dates back to when my dear friend Rob Ford, then Mayor Ford, and I discussed our shared vision for this site. I still remember when he handed the baton to me and said, "Vinny, take carriage of the Woodbine file. Make great things happen." Rob's words further inspired me to see this project through, and we've made remarkable progress. What started as a conversation ended up becoming something grand that will propel this community to a new level. Today's announcement will trigger even bigger and better things. More housing, more amenities, and improved connectivity. I look forward to continuing to work with city staff, Woodbine, and my provincial colleagues to complete this critical connection to Etobicoke North. Those are my comments. Thank you very much. At this point, I want to introduce Mayor Chow, and she's right here. Thank you very much. Mayor, it's all yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning. Thank you, Councillor Crisante. It's a pleasure to be here to celebrate this good news with Premier Ford, Minister Sarkaria, Minister Kirshner, and PA Laura Smith, David Smith, and Mohammed Thuran. Toronto is the fastest growing city in North America. Last year alone, our city added 245,000 people. As our city grows with more doctors, construction workers, nurses, teachers, we need to build new homes, transit, and communities to support our city's growth. We also know that drivers across Toronto are sitting in traffic, stuck, and there's nothing more frustrating. So to get our city moving, we need more options to get people into the city. The Woodbine GO Station would expand options to make it easier for Torontonians to get to work and into the city, along with the Finch West LRT, Eglinton Crosstown, Ontario line, the new subway cars on line 2. It is part of our collective commitment to invest in better public transit for Canada's largest city. Now, with Woodbine GO Station as an anchor, a transit-oriented community with thousands of new homes will spring up. It will be a complete neighborhood with new homes, parks, shops, libraries, and community gathering spaces. I grew up near, very near, in Hong Kong, the Happy Valley racetrack. Some of you may know the Happy Valley racetrack. And I'm middle of the hill, the racetrack's in the valley. And every Saturday morning, my dad would say, "Oh, you know, come and help me pick a horse." I know nothing. I was a little kid. And it's wonderful living not far from it. And across the street, there was a school. I went to school at Mary North Sisters School. There's a playground for me to play in with a swing set. I would run to a little store down the street to pick up my favorite candies. And the bus stop is not far away, just a few steps. So it's a complete neighborhood that I grew up in, not far from the racetrack. So here we are. We have the Woodbine racetrack and the complete community being built around it. So I really welcome this opportunity. We also know housing is the biggest expense every month for most families. The cost of rent and mortgages is just simply too high. That's why at City Council we're building homes faster, especially homes that people can afford. We have a new development review division speeding up housing approvals by more than 80%. And which is why when I heard that this is community, the transit-oriented community is being built, I said to the Woodbine team, build it, we will approve it as quickly as we can, and here we are. I'm very, very pleased that we are here this morning to kick it off. We are also waiving development charges, 100% of it, unlocking more than 8,000 purpose-built rental homes, deferring development charges for 3,000 condos units so that we can spur and unlock all the building. We are making zoning changes with avenue plans, mid-rise apartments, you name it, all kinds of housing developments. Here, when all the building is happening, there will be 43,000 jobs being created during the construction of this community, including Canadian steel workers and construction workers, supporting Buy Canadian and protecting Toronto and Ontario, together with Captain Canada, of course, during the President Trump's trade war. This investment is made possible by Toronto's New Deal with the province of Ontario. I want to thank you, Mr. Premier, again. As part of this city's agreement, we, of course, will speed up approval so this project can get building within minimum 12 months, maybe even faster. We're also prioritizing building affordable housing. This community will add thousands and thousands more homes to our community, including a commitment to build thousands of affordable homes. So we are working together across all levels of government to build a stronger city. And I want to thank the ministers and premier for this partnership. With that, I will pass it off to Jim Lawson from Woodbine Entertainment Group to speak about the importance of this project.
Thank you. Thank you. That's exciting. Appreciate it. On behalf of Woodbine Entertainment, I would like to welcome you to the iconic Woodbine Racetrack, home of the 166th King's Plate this year. It's my honor to welcome such wonderful partners here today. Premier Ford, Mayor Chow, Minister Sarkaria, Parliamentary Assistant Smith, Councillor Crisanti, Metrolinx CEO Michael Lindsay, our horse racing leadership, Sue Leslie from the President of the HBPA, and our Woodbine team. 70 years ago, Woodbine Racetrack opened in northwest Toronto on this massive 684-acre site. At that time, successful businessman and horse person E.P. Taylor had a vision for this property. We are another step closer today to fully realizing on that vision. That's in large part to many people, including Premier Ford, Mayor Chow, Minister Sarkaria, and Minister Surma, among others. As an organization that operates with a non-profit mandate, today's announcement is an important part of our strategic vision to realize the full potential of one of the most exciting pieces of land in Canada. Woodbine is proud to help people get across the GTA, ensure people have a roof to put over their head, and create meaningful careers in the trades and in horse racing. This will serve to transform the Etobicoke community, creating thousands of new jobs at the Woodbine property. Personally, I have been working on this site for more than 17 years to transform this wonderful piece of property. By good luck or good planning, today we find ourselves at a pivotal, positive moment for the entire community including the horse racing industry in Ontario. There are so many people to thank for helping us along this journey. Thank you to our world-class management team and staff, led by our CEO, Michael Copeland. All have worked hard and passionately on this project for many, many years. When I think of how long we have been realizing on this vision, my mind immediately turns to Toronto's former mayor, the late Rob Ford. Mayor Ford was a friend and a supporter, and no one was more passionate about evolving this property for the benefit of the people of North Etobicoke than Mayor Ford. Thank you, Rob. And I now turn it over to Minister Sarkaria. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you to the team at Woodbine for hosting us this afternoon. It's great to be here with many of my caucus colleagues who have all been very instrumental in this project that we are standing before here today. Also with Mayor Chow, who has always been a great partner to work on with many of our transit projects across the province, as well as Michael Lindsay, who's here today, who was just yesterday appointed as our full-time CEO of Metrolinx. Michael, I know you will do an incredible job, so congratulations to Michael, and we really, really look forward to working with him as we launch the largest expansion of public transit in North America's history. And of course, it's always special to be here with Premier Doug Ford to deliver a major announcement for transit riders. Under Premier Ford's historic leadership, our government is making record investments in public transit that will protect Ontario by supporting workers and making it easier for thousands of Ontarians to access housing and employment opportunities. Today, we're marking another milestone for commuters right here in Etobicoke. Millions of Ontarians rely on public transit every day to get to work, visit family, friends, and so much more. That is why we're building the largest expansion in North America, to deliver transit that will serve our province for generations to come. Under the leadership of Premier Ford, we are investing nearly $70 billion in public transit, and that includes $12 billion invested in the GO expansion program. We're adding new stations, more tracks, and faster service while generating the equivalent of 8,300 jobs annually to transform our GO Transit network into something truly world-class, and we are well on our way. Today, we are marking another step forward in our plan to tackle gridlock and shorten travel times for thousands of daily commuters so we can stand up for Ontario and build the province for the future. We can't control President Trump and his tariffs, but we can control the future we build for ourselves. And today, the future has never looked brighter. And with that said, I'll turn it over to Premier Doug Ford. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for having me. I'm delighted to be here alongside, as you've heard many times, Minister Sarkaria, Minister Kersner, PAs David Smith, Mohammed Farin, and Laura Smith. What a great team. As well as Mayor Chow. Mayor, I'll tell you, you're doing an incredible job. And anytime, I try to, I wear this beautiful tie that the mayor gave me on my birthday. And I'm glad that you grew up by a racetrack, and you were never a jockey or anything, were you? No? Okay. Because it would be they're off to the races. Anyways, I put my money on you. Anyways, Mayor, thank you for everything. What a great partner the mayor's been, and Councillor Crisante that I've worked with for many, many years, and I've known him for many years, and thank you for supporting this project and helping out our community. You know, when calls come in this area of Etobicoke North, we work so well together, so thank you. Jim, you're right, we've been working at this, the chair of Woodbine Entertainment Group, for many, many years. Thank you for your dedication, your hard work, and we'll get this moving forward. So thank you for that. And Michael Copeland, the CEO of Woodbine Entertainment Group, thank you for working on this project. Folks, if you want some entertainment, you come to Woodbine. You come up to beautiful Etobicoke. Was it close to $1 billion investment that you put in with the hotels and everything? Pretty close. $1 billion investment, give or take a little bit. But you've never seen anything like it, so you have to come up and catch a concert or some entertainment, and this will be just such a thriving place. Also want to thank Michael Lindsay, CEO of Metrolinx. And Michael, as Prab was just telling you, congratulations on you taking over for the permanent CEO of Metrolinx. And I know you've been a great leader at infrastructure, and you'll do the same great work at Metrolinx. Friends, we know workers and families are worried about the impact of President Trump's tariffs and the economic uncertainty they're causing. And they're counting on us to step up to protect their jobs, their communities, their families, and that's exactly what we're doing. One of the most important ways we're protecting Ontario is by doubling down on our plan to build. With more than $200 billion in infrastructure investments, this is the largest plan to build in Canada's history, and it includes highways, roads, transit that we'll be talking about today, hospitals, schools, and much more. We're investing in critical projects to get people moving again, like Highway 413, the Bradford Bypass, and the 401 Tunnel Expressway. We're also lowering costs for transit users with one fare, which saves commuters an average of about $1,600 every single year. So you could hop on here at the Woodbine Station, you can go down to Union, hop off, hop on another train, and no matter where you come in from the province on GO Transit, you're only paying one fare. Our plan to build also includes $70 billion for the largest public transit and subway service expansion in North America. It includes historic new transit projects like the Yonge North and the Scarborough subway extensions, the Eglinton Crosstown West extensions, the Hazel McCallion line, the Finch West LRT, and the Ontario line. We're also expanding GO service across the Greater Golden Horseshoe, including right here in Etobicoke. And through our new deal with the City of Toronto, we're uploading the Gardiner Expressway and Don Valley Parkway to the province and speeding up construction on the Gardiner to help get people out of gridlock. Today I'm thrilled to be here as we mark another important step forward in our plan to build Ontario with the official start of the construction on Woodbine GO Station. This station will be a key part of our plan to provide two-way all-day GO service and will connect travelers on the Kitchener line to Pearson Airport and the Up Express, to local transit, and of course to Woodbine Racetrack. And I'm so pleased that as part of our ongoing work with Woodbine, they'll be contributing $170 million to support the construction of the new station. This is going to be a game changer for North Etobicoke and for the people who rely on the Kitchener line every day, with better connections, improved services, and new jobs and growth in the community. It's a great example of what we can do working closely with our great partners like Woodbine and across all levels of government. My friends, we're going to keep investing in our workers, our infrastructure, and our communities. We're going to cut the red tape, tackle gridlock, and attract new jobs and investments to our province, and we're going to protect Ontario no matter what. I want to thank you, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you.
We will now take questions from the media. Please come to the microphone and state your name and outlet. Just a reminder, it's one question and one follow-up. First question.
Good afternoon, Mark McAllister from City News.
Hi, Mark.
Premier, it was about 6 years ago when the announcement for a brand new Woodbine GO Station was made. Soon thereafter, there were environmental assessments done, public consultations done. Yep. There was a completion date of 2023 announced at that point. Why has it taken to this point to actually get started?
Well, first of all, aren't we glad it's actually moving forward? You know, we had to do the environmental assessments. We had to consult with the community. But the great news is, Mark, is we're going to have a GO station here, and it's going to connect, you know, thousands and thousands of people. It's so important, especially with the largest community college in the country, Humber College up there, along with all the industrial areas around here. This is going to be great for the community, and we can't wait to get it going.
In addition to that, obviously you're talking about a transit-oriented community with the backing of Woodbine. How long will it be before we can expect actual housing to be built? I know Mayor Chow had referred to trying to get things through the planning process as quickly as possible and mentioned 12 months to get shovels in the ground. Can we realistically expect that?
Well, as long as the permits go through the city, and I know the mayor's been a champion in moving things forward and sitting down, making sure we have the right design for the community, and we're going to keep moving forward on it. So it's going to be a beautiful community with the amenities, and I just look forward to continue working with Woodbine and the mayor and Councillor Crisante.
Hey, Richard Southern, 680 News Radio. First off, Premier, do you have a pick for the third race? Any hot tips at all?
I'd bet on the mayor and myself. I'll be the thoroughbred. She can be the jockey. I'll whoop their butts. That'd be it.
Speaking of the mayor, when you guys were together a few weeks ago, the mayor suggested that she had offered some sort of compromise about bike lanes, whereby the bike lanes could remain, but an additional lane of traffic could also be added. So I wanted to ask you both today, have you reached a compromise on the bike lanes?
Yeah, we're working together, and I'm never against bike lanes. I'm just for those 3 areas that are heavily congested. And we always work together. We have a phenomenal relationship, and we're going to continue working on projects, including the bike lanes.
Also wanted to ask about that parking garage at Ontario Place that you announced the other day. You said it would bring in $60 million annually.
That's right.
Some back of the napkin math, though, shows that every single parking spot would have to be full 365 days a year at a cost of $45 to bring in that $60 million annually. Is that realistic, Premier?
Well, I don't know if your math is right. I'd question your math, but Richard, we're going to have an incredible parking lot there, and it's going to be used for multiple things, and it's just going to be incredible. That whole destination is world class, and it's going to attract 6 million people and visitors, and a lot of those 6 million are going to come from around the world, around the province, and they're going to be spending their money in the city of Toronto. They're going to be filling hotel rooms up. They're going to actually have a destination that they can go to. You know, you talk about the ROM, the CN great places, art gallery, and so on and so forth. But now we're going to have a destination that's going to attract more people to Toronto. And then they're going to drive up the road or hop on the GO, and they're going to come to a spectacular destination at Woodbine that they can catch a race, they can catch a concert, they can stay in the beautiful hotel here, go out for a meal. You know, Toronto's a happening place right now, and we're going to keep moving forward. We have the greatest cities in the entire world, bar none. I'll put our city of Toronto up against anyone in the entire world.
Hi, Premier Liam Casey from the Canadian Press.
Hi, Liam.
There's a family right now heading upriver from Attawapskat First Nation, traveling about 400 kilometers by canoe. They're going to meet up with the Skandiga First Nation, and they're going to set up a quasi-permanent encampment where you guys are thinking of building a bridge over the Attawapskat River. They say they want to show you and the Prime Minister that the land will not be mined without their consent. How do you go about getting consent from the likes of Attawapskat First Nation and the Skandiga First Nation?
Well, first of all, we've been consulting with Webequie and Martin Falls for a few years now. So we have been discussing this, and they've signed agreements moving forward, and Arrowland as well. So I guess they're going to have to be talking to their friends from other First Nations that are coming in their territory. But either way, let's put that to the side. I want prosperity for our First Nations. I want them to have their kids and grandchildren to have a better life. I want them to have equity partnership. And we put $3 billion, never been done in the history of Canada, by the way, $3 billion that they can have an equity partnership. I want to make sure that $70 million of training goes to the First Nations community. I want the $10 million of scholarships. So maybe one of their young people will be an engineer or whatever it might they go through for graduating, working on the actual site. So we're going to work well with them, and we're going to get a road up to the Ring of Fire with the collaboration and cooperation with First Nations communities. And we want to make sure that anyone who wants to be part of a business zone, an area, they're welcome to do that. And I've already had some requests that they want to be part of that zone. Not up there, but their territories too. They're good people, hardworking people, and they want to get it done.
Thanks, Premier.
Thank you.
You said recently that you were invited up north by some of these First Nations.
Yes.
Just wondering if you have plans to go north to visit some of these First Nations.
I do.
You know, what sort of this? Can you let us know a little bit about those
Yeah,
plans?
I'll let you know once we finalize it. But around the table the other day, I had probably half a dozen of them all wanting me to come up. And by the way, when I go to First Nations communities, they treat me like gold, absolute gold, and I appreciate and respect that they want to get together. And you never know, when I'm up there, maybe we'll do a little fishing together. Nothing's better than sitting down, maybe fishing and breaking bread and seeing exactly how I can support them, how the province can support them until their communities thrive and prosper and grow, and which would be fabulous for everyone. That's all I want, is prosperity for First Nations and for Ontario. This is one of our weapons against President Trump, and this will have our province in a good position at the negotiating table, and we're going to continue again consulting with our First Nations communities.
Hi, Premier. Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Hi.
Are any of those visits or consultations, are you planning to do those alongside the Prime Minister, since I know you are embarking on similar projects over the summer, doing maybe some overlapping kind of consultation and engagement?
Yeah, I'll have to ask him. I haven't talked to him in a few days, so next time I chat with him, I'll ask him to come up and maybe we'll go fishing. You never know.
And I'm looking to hear both from you and Minister Kersner about the Ombudsman report we saw yesterday, where Paul Dubé was calling for urgent action, saying that the correctional system is in a state of crisis, with people being housed in places like broom closets and converted pantries. What will you do to address that problem to make sure, as he said, that people aren't going or coming out worse than how they went in?
So, you know, I'll pass this over to Minister Kersner, but a couple things. We're building new jails across the province. We're accelerating new jails as quickly as possible. So that's great. And if there's any issues, people will be held accountable. I can assure you that. And I guess we have 400 federal prisoners that we have to move. They're borrowing space, the feds, because they have to start building the penitentiaries. And we take care of people 2 years less a day. But do you know how we fix the problem with overcrowding? Tell the criminals, stop kicking in doors, putting guns to people's heads, robbing people, and breaking into houses. So all the criminals out there, you don't want to go to hotel jail, then you don't cause trouble. You don't break the law. We have laws. One law, one country, and you aren't bad guys, you aren't going to jail. But if you're bad guys, I want to lock you up and keep you in there for as long as I possibly can. So that's my answer on that. Over to you, Minister.
Well, thanks, Premier. You know, our government, led by Premier Ford, has not stopped when it comes to investing in our correctional system. Premier mentioned a few things. We're going to be completing next year $1 billion investment in Thunder Bay that's bringing 345 beds back online. But for 15 years, the Liberals starved the correctional system. They closed 7 jails that most people don't know that they did. I've asked my ministry, in fact, to go back to the 7 jails that were closed and see which ones we could possibly look at reopening. But when it comes, as the Premier said, to hold people to account, we will expect that everyone who's a police officer, a firefighter, a correctional officer, or anyone in public safety, uphold the highest standards of conduct. And you know what? 99.9% of them do. But for those that don't, they'll be held to account.
Yeah.
This will be the last reporter.
We aren't building Four Seasons, building Crowbar Hotel.
It's Lorenda from CBC.
Hi, Lorenda.
This is following up on a colleague story that came out yesterday. Your environment minister had said earlier this month in the House that you are on track to meet the emissions target for your government. However, the advice that he got from civil servants when he was taking over the file...
Hold on. I apologize. Let's repeat the last few words.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. These are all the tourists flying in to come to Woodbine, by the way.
Ready to move into that community. So, yes, the environment minister said, yes, the government is on track to meet its targets when it comes to emissions. However, the advice that he got from civil servants just a couple months earlier when he took over that file, it told quite a different story. saying that it's far from that. So will your government be meeting your climate goals by 2030?
Well, that's our goal. And just, let's talk about the positive things. We're leading the world at 94% emissions free. And if you look at it, we're on a track to build large-scale nuclear, small modular reactors that everyone in the world wants, and including our neighbors to the south. They need energy. We're world leaders in the nuclear sector, and we're going to continue being the world leaders. We want a clean, green environment, and that's how we're going to get there. And a wide range of different energy sources, but we're proud of our record, and we're going to continue to thrive to be the cleanest area anywhere in the entire world. I wish everyone would follow in our footsteps. So I'm a big fan of clean, green, affordable, reliable energy, and that's nuclear.
There's a protest that was going on outside Queen's Park today, upset about the school boards requiring to have cops in schools again. Did you consult with people on that, including school boards, teachers, parents, students, before making that decision?
What I can tell you, the parents I've talked to overwhelmingly, and all the messages I've been getting, that's a great move. We aren't going in there and putting a heavy arm with the police, and no, they're part of the community. They used to be in there, and I've talked to a few police officers that used to be community police officers, and they get along extremely well with the students there. Students love knowing that they're there, and they have conversations. They become very close. So I think it's fantastic that we're putting community officers within the schools, and they're going to be very, very helpful, and the parents are very, very happy. You have no idea the complaints I get about these school boards. It's just endless, and I'm glad that Minister Calandra is grabbing the bull by the horns and taking care of the school boards. The teachers, vast majority of the teachers, not all, but vast majority, cannot stand the school boards. So we're going to hold them accountable, and I know Minister Calandra is putting some supervisors in, and we're going to straighten these school boards out once and for all.
Thank you. This concludes today's press conference.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Come and visit Woodbine. It's a great destination. Thank you.